Now, His Excellency Turkey Al-Sheikh, he wants to see the rematch between Mike Tyson and Jake Paul, and he's now offering Mike Tyson $700 million.
Mike Tyson, the man whose punches could send grown men into orbit in his prime, has signed the rematch contract for the Jake Paul fight. The YouTube kid who turned boxing into his personal circus? Well, he's back too, stirring up the pot with his uncanny knack for making people love to hate him. This time, it's not about who's the better fighter or who's in their prime. Oh no, this is about spectacle, dollar signs, and the kind of drama that keeps Twitter buzzing at 3 a.m.
Close a lot of things about this.
You're just a big fight fan.
Yeah.
You love boxing.
Yeah.
Yes. Why? Where did that come from?
From the youngest generation. When I was child, the animation, the game, Muhammad Ali, of course, Muhammad Ali. You know, he inspired a lot of people in our region, all around the world. Mike Tyson.
Oh yes.
Larry Holmes. Roberto Duran. You know,
some big names.
Yeah.
The numbers don't lie, and Tyson's payday for this spectacle is reportedly a staggering $700 million. Thanks to Saudi Arabia's deep pockets, the rematch is set to be a global spectacle. And why wouldn't it be?
Mike's hurt. He see Jake Paul land a beautiful jab with right hand first, right there, and knock Mike off balance 2 times. And Mike was highly off balance right there. I don't like how his legs look.
Is Tyson chasing redemption, or is he just cashing in? Does Jake actually believe he can take down the man who once struck fear into the hearts of the toughest fighters on earth? Or is this all just another chapter in his masterclass on how to stay relevant?
Wasn't the Tyson-Jake fight, wasn't that amazing?
Yeah. It's amazing they got paid so much money for that.
25 million and 40 million?
I think 20 and 40.
Let's not kid ourselves. This isn't about competition. It's about spectacle. Tyson isn't Iron Mike anymore. He's a 58-year-old icon who's trading punches for profit. Jake Paul isn't a real contender. He's a master marketer who's turned boxing into a soap opera. The first fight barely scraped $20 million, but now, thanks to Saudi Arabia's deep pockets, the rematch is set to be a global spectacle. And why wouldn't it be? This fight isn't about boxing.
Kid, when he was the champ, it was like, people don't understand what a champ he was. Like, he wasn't just the heavyweight champ of the world, he was an executioner.
Saudi Arabia, the kingdom that brought us Cristiano Ronaldo's move and WWE spectacles, is now bankrolling what's shaping up to be the most polarizing rematch in boxing history. And when you see a figure like $700 million being tossed around, you can't help but wonder, is this about boxing, or is it about making a global statement? Spoiler alert, it's not about boxing.
Tyson requested the 2-minute rounds, wanting to see more action. He just landed the overhand right, testing the beard of Paul early.
Let's be real here. Mike Tyson, the man who once ruled the heavyweight division with unmatched fury, has nothing left to prove. His name alone is a brand, his legacy untouchable by even the most elaborate PR stunts. And yet, he's lacing up the gloves again to face Jake Paul, a guy who's as much about boxing as reality TV is about reality. And Jake? If he somehow beats Tyson, it won't prove anything other than his ability to cherry-pick opponents. A win here would be another notch in his belt of spectacle-driven victories, not a genuine triumph over a true contender.
Of course, I let him win. He gave me $10 million, or else I would have knocked him the out.
Jake's rise to boxing fame has been anything but traditional. Mocked by purists and adored by his legion of fans, he's managed to turn the sport into a cash cow of controversy. He's not here to perfect jabs or master footwork. He's here to sell fights, and boy, does he sell them. Love him or hate him, Jake Paul has mastered the art of making people care, even if that care comes in the form of sheer outrage. And let's not forget the fight that started it all. The first Tyson-Paul bout was less about who punched harder, and more about who could sell the narrative better. Critics called it a circus act, fans tuned in by the millions. And the box office numbers? They spoke louder than any knockout could. Now, with $700 million on the line, the stakes have been raised to absurd heights. But does anyone really believe this is about the sport? Credible
fight and bring it to the kingdom of Saudi Arabia.
It is not something a surprise or We have a lot to fight.
The Kingdom of Saudi Arabia certainly doesn't. This isn't their first rodeo in the world of flashy sports deals. They're not just throwing money at Tyson and Paul, they're crafting an event that screams opulence, dominance, and a whole lot of look at us. This fight is less about the clash of two personalities and more about Saudi Arabia's ambitious bid to cement itself as the epicenter of global sports and entertainment. And they know exactly how to get the world's attention, by pitting a living legend against a polarizing figure whose mere presence is enough to send Twitter into a meltdown. For Tyson, the motivations seem clear. It's not about proving anything. How could it be? He's 58. His prime was decades ago. But there's a certain allure to stepping back into the limelight, especially when the payday is larger than life. It's not about reliving his glory days, it's about cashing in on the Tyson name one last time. And can you really blame him? Nostalgia sells, and Tyson's legacy ensures that people will tune in, even if it's just to see if he can still throw a punch.
I said to you from the beginning behind the scene, I like you a lot and I like what you do. We want to see.
As for Jake Paul, this is yet another chapter in his meticulously crafted saga of spectacle. Every fight he's participated in has been less about skill and more about hype. He knows how to stir the pot, how to make people watch, and most importantly, how to keep his name in the headlines. Facing Tyson again is less about proving he's a real boxer and more about solidifying his place as the king of controversy. Whether he wins or loses, the attention and the payday make it worth his while. But let's not kid ourselves. This fight, like the first one, is not for the purists. It's not for those who grew up watching Tyson obliterate his opponents with terrifying precision. It's for the masses who crave drama, who live for the spectacle, and who can't resist the allure of a $700 million showdown. It's for the fans who want to see if Jake Paul can finally get knocked out or if Tyson can defy age and expectations. Still, you can't help but feel a pang of sadness amidst the spectacle. Tyson, once a symbol of raw power and unrelenting dominance, is now part of a circus act that barely resembles the sport he once ruled. And Jake Paul, for all his bravado, continues to blur the line between boxing and entertainment, leaving purists shaking their heads at what the sport has become.
Is he a legitimate boxer?
A legitimate boxer, yes. People mocked me when I was saying that before, but now I think people are coming